Start it in the thing from what I was doing.
It looks like we are live. Just check it on my my browser to make sure it's actually gone live. Is that happening? Looks like it. Let's yeet the volume there. Great. Okay. Welcome. Okay, and right, we're just having a bit of a reaction video because I was sent this a video earlier today by a friend who said he'd seen it and it was apparently hilarious. So I thought we'd have a bit of a look at it and generally have a look at and a laugh at the state of British politics, but in particular the Liberal Democrats. I know I don't know if you know the Liberal Democrats. Novus, we've got our centre party. We've got the Conservatives, we've got the Labour Party, and they take up the right and left wing, respectively. And the Liberal Democrats are supposed to sit in the middle, and you know, basically sort of take up the slack for the centre ground. However, they've been getting more and more left wing of late, and whilst they used to have fairly respectable leaders. A long time ago, they actually had a guy called Paddy Ashdown who was. I actually quite liked the guy. He was, I believe, he was ex-SAS or something. Certainly in the army, and for all of his faults, was a man you could respect and a man of his word. But he's long gone now, and now they have a nice lady called Jo Swinson who runs the Lib Dems, and yeah, she was on Good Morning Britain yesterday and got apparently roasted by Piers Morgan, and we're just going to have a quick look at that.
Well, it's got the word liberal in it, so I'm just triggered automatically.
Good. Good. And let's just transition that over there. And oh my god, we can see my face on camera. This is probably a terrible idea. It's my career over.
The boomer booms.
Indeed. So let's no further ado. Let's get it started, and you should have the ability to pause it if you like at your end. You've got it on a watch together thing. So yeah, let's run this.
Go for it.
What was your view of Paddy Ashdown and his integrity and credibility as a former leader?
Are you going to click it?
I think I have, haven't I?
It's not playing for
Paddy
me.
Ashdown was bold,
Boomer
and
101.
fearless and determined, and last week, or in fact earlier this week, there was a beautiful memorial service for him in Westminster Abbey with
We
thousands
screwed
of
it all
people
up now.
in attendance. And
what are you guys
miss him
screwing up?
greatly and remember him.
Oh, hey, welcome.
Let's hit pause.
Hello.
Stasi, welcome. Do you have the watch together link?
I do.
If you look
not.
If you look
yes.
at the content collation rather, yes, we've set it all up. Welcome. We're laughing. Well, we're going to be laughing hopefully at the Lib Dem leader Jo Swinson.
Yeah, you'll just have to give it a minute to load.
Give you a second. Sure.
If you had it playing, I wonder why it wasn't playing for me.
I'm a little concerned about that. Yeah, that should have been playing.
Let me just open it in a browser that literally has nothing.
Okay. We have a number of people that have joined the watch together that aren't in now.
Well, there's two me's.
Yeah.
That would explain one of them.
All right, go for it.
Okay, if you got her face live from
Bournemouth. It's working.
Okay. Right. Okay. So yes, this was on.
Yeah. Anyone that refused to honour that referendum result, and he presumed at the time that Remain was going to win.
Did it start at 38 seconds for you?
The enemy of democracy, and he thought he was going to be talking about Nigel Farage.
Yeah, wind it back.
Let's wind it back. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
What was your view of Paddy Ashdown and his integrity and credibility as a former leader of your party?
Well, Paddy Ashdown was bold and fearless and determined, and last week, or in fact earlier this week, there was a beautiful memorial service for him in Westminster Abbey with thousands of people in attendance, and we miss him greatly and remember him as a great leader.
Anyone that refused to honour that referendum result, and he presumed at the time that Remain was going to win, that they would be basically the enemy of democracy. And he thought he was going to be talking about Nigel Farage. Turned out that Brexit won. And yet here you are, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, the party that Paddy Ashdown loved, and you just don't want to have another vote now. You want to literally stop Brexit happening. You want to do the very thing that Paddy Ashdown said he would find unforgivable. Why?
Well, wait, just hold on. So
Let's be
with
clear.
that, why, like, how many times are they going to vote on this thing, right?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's just it. If they lost again, they'd just be calling for another vote.
Yeah, they're going to vote and vote again. It's the same exact tactics that they're using with Trump, right? We didn't get our way, so we're going to cry about it. It's a little harder in America to have a revote, right? A recount is a different story, but a revote, but it's literally the same tactics, right?
Yes.
Use the media as propaganda, get everybody, like, force this anti-Brexit stuff on everybody through every means necessary, every means possible, and have another vote. Oh, we lost again. Well, we're just going to have to step it up and have another vote. How many times are they going to do this?
Well, I mean, the EU have kind of renowned for doing this stuff. They've done it at the Irish Lisbon Treaty and various other times. They've not got the result they wanted, and all they've done is made them vote again until they do get it. And well,
Yeah, so why not just end it?
Yeah, why not?
Well, yeah, I know you're not gonna stand for it, and that's why not just end the charade and call it what they are, is a dictatorship.
Well, they really want to be that, but hopefully
Well,
they can hold it.
They're everything a dictatorship is, except the name.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
So-
if you think the propaganda on, like, these shows are bad, like, I wouldn't recommend turning on a radio.
Yeah.
It's, like, I think that's how they're doing a lot of the propagandizing. But anyway, I like how she's... Oh, I loved the ex-leader of the Liberal Democrats.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going entirely against exactly what he said.
Yeah, he Piers Morgan set her up nicely for that one. I don't always like Piers Morgan, but damn it, sometimes he's on the nose, and yeah, he was this time, and he seems to be someone relatively respectable. And oh my God, now is the time my next door neighbor decides to break out the bandsaw. Can you hear that?
Yeah, dude.
You can hear it.
Sounds like somebody's angle grinder in your face off.
But no, Piers Morgan's a complete idiot, which is why he can sniff out other idiots.
The old takes one to know one thing. Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Shall we?
Yep. Go for it.
Paddy Ashdown wanted to stop Brexit, so I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever about that, because of what Brexit will mean for our country in terms of making people poorer, hurting our public services, and making it harder for us to get real action on things like the climate emergency. Now,
Hold on. Absolutely no proof on any of those things. The climate emergency, I don't see how that's going to make has anything to do with Brexit, and everything else that she said was speculation, and we've got an awful lot of evidence to say it may well be the other way around, especially if we can do a deal with America. Like they say, they already have one penciled in and ready to go. It just needs a signature on it.
Yeah, they make people think that, like, we leave the EU and therefore, you know, you can't buy cheese from France anymore. You can't buy anything from Italy. You just can't make a deal with any. You literally can't buy anything from any of these. What? That's stupid. That's not how it's going to happen.
I'm fairly sure Germany trades with America, and Europe trades with Japan. In fact, I believe they just gave Japan a free trade deal, which they said we couldn't have because we'd be outside of Europe, and I don't see Japan anywhere near Europe.
Yeah. No, man, they're the Japanese are European. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Can't you just tell? They just look so Japanese. They just look so European.
Well, soon, I wouldn't doubt that every country is European.
Well, they're trying to get Israel into things. Israel was in the Eurovision Song Contest, and it's like, oh yeah, Israel's a European country.
Didn't they win?
Wait, yeah. Wait, what? Yes, they won.
But yeah.
No.
I wonder who was investing that time around.
No.
Yeah. But Jesus Christ, what a fucking mess.
Yeah,
I mean,
big
like,
time.
I remember when the referendum first occurred. I remember all the Remainers whinging, "Oh, we're gonna have all these negative effects if you vote Leave." And I remember the pound didn't it go down by like 15, 20p for 8 days?
It plummeted. It plummeted briefly, and then
Yeah, it was like 8 days.
And it stayed down for it hasn't fully recovered back to the level. But the thing was, the knock-on effect of that was all of a sudden English goods became a lot cheaper to buy in bulk and trade across, into the other countries, and our exports were massively boosted in the process. Who would have thought that having a slightly weaker pound would have boosted our exports, and actually we ended up doing better out of it. So,
because the economy's stable, I don't see.
Yeah.
Well, it's as stable as it could be.
Just a quick digression here, right? What is that cheese? That cheese that you guys put on toast?
cheddar.
Toasted.
Whatever the cheese is, the block of cheese, right?
Right.
Did you ever hear about the? Did you ever hear about the Russians smuggling that stuff in cars into their country?
No.
No.
Yeah, Putin put some kind of crazy ban on cheese that wasn't Russian cheese, and Russian cheese sucks. So they would like put it in car panels to get it across the Russian border.
Shit. I just imagine a bunch of crazy drunk Russians trying to snort cheese.
How would you ever spot that apart from the smell? I mean, it's
Well, that's how they got it. The dogs.
The
Yeah.
dogs seem to be trying to eat this car. Maybe
I could just I could just see like after Brexit, right, and the UK is gone, just people like smuggling cheese, like thinking that they won't be able to buy cheese
Oh,
from.
that's it.
They have to
I'm
smuggle
getting
it.
into the brie smuggling business. That's
Yeah.
buy a car. Oh, I can get a good £30 of brie in the panels of this.
Oh man. Like I could see people believing that they're gonna have to like smuggle wine and cheese into the country because they can't buy it anymore. It's
What's
like,
even
come
better
on.
is we can ship cheddar to France and then brie back. I mean, this is just profit all right ways round.
You guys heard of drug dealers, right? Well, now
Well,
there's the cheese. There's the cheese dealer.
The cheese trade.
Yes. Just opens his trench coat up, like, which one you want today?
got some nice Stilton, Wensleydale. Red
What you
Leicester,
buying?
Juicy
Dude, the
Seals.
county.
I'll do it
You
by
guys-
the gram.
Oh, you guys have heard of the county lines, right? Like,
What's
they're
this?
gonna get fucking. They're gonna get fucking wild. It's amazing. Anubis, do you know about the county lines?
Negative.
Dude, it's essentially a bunch of young kids who are having to care for like their older, disabled or sick parents being manipulated into drug trading.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of fucking retarded
Jesus.
kids
Yeah.
walking up and down county lines. Literally walking. Like, there's one kid who was walking for like 15 miles just to drop off like a pound of weed. It was fucking messed up.
Yeah, the police have been really onto it because yes, it's massive child abuse and yeah, they're just using small children to run drugs across the county lines. It's England. Our counties are not huge.
No.
You can walk across a county, you know, if you.
I literally walk across a county when I walk to work. That's
Get a good pace up. If you've got a bike, that's it. Yeah, you know, the country's your limit.
yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, we cheese trade that thing. No one will look twice.
Damn.
Kids
Oh,
carrying
man.
cheese, what are they gonna do, huh?
It's like the potato.
Chase them down with dogs. That's what I say.
What do you think? What do you think?
Miles.
What do you think would get more time in prison, a potato peeler or a block of cheese in that scenario?
It depends. Is it French cheese? Because that's some serious contraband, man.
Wait, how the fuck do we go into cheese?
Look, it's appropriate. We're talking the EU. It's definitely not a total tangent.
You could say that's some cheesy business.
Oh my god! Right? Okay. So speaking of, you want to know what you're dealing with this shit, right? You want to know how crazy this can get?
Go on,
dude. You're not. This is insane. So a baker in Germany, right?
Right.
He's got a bakery,
mm-hmm.
and
I know what you're gonna say now. Yeah.
So an inspector comes and gets the yearly inspection or whatever, and the guy has a sign that's blank euros a kilogram, right? And kilogram kg.
Right.
So he gets threatened with a 25,000 euro fine because kg, the letters K and G, were capitalized. They weren't lowercase. And the reason was because people could possibly confuse the capital letter K and G for Kelvin and Gauss.
Because you usually measure bread in terms of temperature and electromagnetic distortion.
Yeah. KG, man. 25. I think the fine was 25,000 euros. They threatened him with it. He didn't actually get the fine, but he got threatened with a fine unless he lowercased his fucking letters.
This is why Germany isn't fit to be a country. They should be broken up into Prussia, Bavaria, etc., and kept weak forevermore. Because when they start getting together, good God, they're autistic. Oh Christ! I don't want to believe it, but I can believe that happens because the Germans, good Lord, they're autism the country.
I just imagine being the manager of that store, walking into the store, you've got all your fucking lower workers. Inspector, good morning. How are you doing? How's the store? Is everything okay? And the inspector goes, well, yes, everything appears perfectly fine. Except, do you mind taking a step outside with me? You see these fucking letters?
Look outside at this sign. This sign is in Calvin and Gauss. This is highly irregular. It's supposed to say kilogram, and kilogram is lowercase k and g. Capital K is Kelvin. Capital G is Gauss. You all know this. Anyone in this country's engineer, they can be highly misleading.
I can see that happen.
Mein Gott!
He just starts Alex Jones style smacking papers down on the desk. And another part of that story, right? He had these fucking old school scales, I guess, as decoration, up on a mantle or something. And the guy actually went to the scales and tried to test them with an exact weight, like a calibration weight, and they were out of calibration. He got a fucking fine for that. They weren't in use, dude. They were just old ass scales.
Germans are
unbelievable.
They're nearly human, but they're not quite there yet.
Just the angry German shadow. Oh, dude. Right. Anyway,
I get a bit Dr. Strangelove whenever I think about Germans. The German scientist in the wheelchair.
I still haven't seen that film.
You have to see Dr.
Yeah.
Strangelove. That's a fantastic film. Shall we push on because we're a minute and a half in.
And it's been 20 minutes. Yeah. Let's go.
Well, what do you want? What do you want? A 30-minute stream?
No.
Turn this.
No. Let's see how much content we can eke out of 15 minutes and 35.
Yeah, man. Don't you know how to YouTube yet? The video's got to be 10 minutes at least, man.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's move this because her grin is disturbing me slightly.
It's not a grin. It's her mouth is wide open for me at the
Dude,
minute.
I
wouldn't
got
want to
the
be a husband.
Look at those.
yeah.
Look at those.
Her mouth is wide open too, man. I got the perfect ball gag to put in
Those buck teeth, dude. Like,
Hey,
I'm not
don't attack the person. Attack the argument, right?
Yeah, yeah.
look, I'm not one to talk. My teeth are pretty bad, man. You can't see a tongue. Yeah, mouth is wide open, but you still can't see the tongue.
Okay.
Isn't that just all of the UK though?
Oh yeah, except maybe like Jess. That's the only person I know.
Right. Let's press.
Bruh.
That referendum 3.5 years ago, and the government has gone away and taken the result of that referendum and negotiated what that will mean for the British public. What is on offer today bears no resemblance to what was said in the 2016 referendum campaign.
But Joe Swinson,
they didn't have
but Joe
buses going
Swinson,
around the
in that
country with
case-
food
in
and
that
medicine
case,
shortages on the
you
side of
may
them.
have a justification.
Hold on. Hold on. We haven't gotten anywhere yet because wankers like this have just filibustered in Parliament for
Yep.
years. That's why it doesn't look anything like it. Because it hasn't happened. Give us Brexit, and then we can judge what's going to happen. Anyway.
Yeah, when the referendum hasn't been fulfilled, you can't say the referendum's been fulfilled. You can't.
She is so goddamn
Well,
disingenuous.
Gaslighting, man. It's gaslighting.
Essentially.
Let's carry on.
For a second referendum, but your name is the Liberal Democrats. I mean, Democrats is literally part of your name, not part of any other party's name. It's part of your name. And you are saying you're not going to respect the democratic vote of the people. Not even by saying, actually, before we revoke Article 50, we would have a second referendum. You're just going to cancel the democratic vote.
There goes that grid.
So
She's not
we are
happy.
still
Yep.
I saw her grin drop and her eyebrows slowly come together like it was a monobrow.
Yeah, not happy. Let's see what she says about this. Because, yeah, democracy, as long as I agree with it.
campaigning to have a people's vote. As I argued in Parliament this week, we believe a people's vote, a referendum, is the best way to get clarity, to get resolution of this current gridlock and Brexit impasse that I think we can all agree we are currently in. But it does look like it may be that a general election will be upon us. And
So she wants a people's vote and a referendum, but doesn't want to honour the referendum that we had 3 years ago because democracy?
That's how democracy works, dude. You don't fulfill any obligations that are put upon you by the people, but you keep asking the people what they want. That's how you do it. You just go, "Hey guys, do you want to do this?" And they all go, "Yes." And then you go, "Okay, see you in 3 years when we ask you again."
But it's going to be really bad. We don't care. But we vote again. No.
Yeah.
Deliver
we know.
Brexit, and we will sort it out in 10 years' time if it's been terrible.
We know better than you in everything, always.
Yeah, but the other thing is, she's like, "Oh, give us clarity." We don't need clarity. It was pretty fucking clear the first time round.
Yeah, that was it. It's, do you want to leave Europe? Yes. Yes, which they got a resounding yes by several million people said yes more than the others.
Yeah, a couple, but I mean, over.
It was 52%.
It was only like.
It was 52% versus 48%.
Yes, but it was the largest majority ever seen
Yes.
by vote
Yes.
rather than by percentage.
Largest amount of people ever
Largest
voting.
turnout.
Largest
Largest-
turnout, largest democratic election or vote ever taken in this country. The biggest exercise in democracy ever accomplished in the United Kingdom ever. But these Democrats don't like it, so they want us to do it again. Actually, they don't.
Well, yeah.
What they want to do is just say no and waste everything that's been wasted over the last 3 years anyway, because Theresa May is completely awful. But nonetheless,
You know what the thing is with this, right? It's not the amount of people. It's not how many people are screaming. It's who can scream the loudest, and they're trying to go off of who's screaming the loudest.
Oh.
I
know,
mean-
and yeah, no, some of us have been down to Parliament and seen some of these lunatics that are all hanging out there screaming, and yeah, they are screaming pretty loud, but you know, it's London.
I wonder who's being in the middle of London, even if they're traveling in, how do they make all that money to be able to
Who's bankrolling
stand
these
outside?
people that are there every single
No,
day?
we're not supposed to be explicit about it, Trig. You know who it is.
Did I say bankrolling?
Yeah.
I had no intention of implying anyone in particular by that.
Right.
Word, but yeah.
It made me want to bring up another thing when they do this. It's like when we had the vote with the majority, they're like, "Oh, it should have been like a 2/3 majority." It's like you would never pass fucking anything with a 2/3 majority.
Yes,
ever.
That's why they want it.
Yeah, they're just throwing more and more. They're moving the goalpost further and further each time.
Yeah, and even if you do go in with a vote like that, it's not fair because if the Remain majority, if it was like I don't know 65%, like an overwhelming majority of the country, but it wasn't quite 66, we'd still remain in the EU because there wasn't a majority vote on it. That would be the outcome. The outcome would become 2/3 of the country would want to leave before we'd leave.
Yeah.
Which is fucking bullshit.
Which is almost impossible, especially when you're shipping people in on vast numbers that are immediately going to vote to remain. Oh, did I mention immigration? I'm terribly sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Yes, the other one that gets me is it's the old people that voted to leave this, that, and the other, and you go down there, and almost everyone that's moaning about Brexit and wanting to remain is in their 60s, and
50s and 60s,
yeah.
There's a couple of young people, but they're Londoners.
Yes.
They're like Westminster Londoners. So you go up and talk to them, they have like the posh accents and shit.
Mm-hmm. They don't usually know what they're talking about either. And you question them, and they just start sort of getting upset.
Yes. Yeah.
I really should have published those videos, but I was having difficulty editing.
Oh,
because
that poor girl, where I was like, you know, we wanted to discuss it, but the point is, she was not very happy with me.
She wasn't.
To be fair, Trig, every single time I started getting into a really good conversation with one of them, you and Jess would come over, and then the Remainer would turn to me and go, "Oh, I see what's going on here. You all want to bully me? I'm not talking to you." Fuck's sake, Trig.
I will have you know I am not a bully. In no way, shape,
Neither
or
am
form.
I.
We weren't.
What?
There was just more of us than there was of them at that particular. It wasn't though. There was like
No, dude, no.
hundreds
No,
of the
no,
Remainers
no.
around there. What?
No, you're getting the wrong idea, right? It's not that there's more of you. It's not that you're being mean to them, right? All you have to do to be labeled a bully is disagree with their opinion.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's not because we were disagreeing. It's because we all have different points to disagree with. Like they'll say like, "Oh, Brexit will be bad for the economy," and Trig will be able to talk about trade deals. I'll be able to say local trade is going to be fine, and then Jess will say I'm a tranny. Like it's a win-win-win, and they have no point to counter us.
Yes, they were losing quite badly. It was good fun.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
Oh, we need to do that again. That was great.
Yeah.
October 31st, anyone?
Oh, you know, that might be a good day for it. Halloween. Go down there in some Guy Fawkes masks.
No, that might lead to some arrest.
Large kegs of. Anyway. Right. Yes. Where was I? Yes, we'll save the blowing up of Parliament. Another discussion in Minecraft.
In that general election, in that democratic process, the Liberal Democrats will campaign to stop Brexit.
So,
that
so
if you win
a democratic
who's been
vote,
paying attention.
if you win a democratic vote, we're expected to respect that democratic vote, but your immediate action as a democratically elected government would be to cancel a democratic vote.
Yeah.
Just.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get wrecked.
Her eyebrows are slowly shrinking into her eyes at this point. I don't think they can narrow any further.
Why
It's
should-
only democratic.
Yeah.
It's only democratic if they win.
Yeah. Why should we respect your democratic win if you don't respect ours? Yes. Nice.
Not my
Just to be
president, man.
crystal clear about this. Our position in that election, when we go to the country and we campaign, and I come on programs like yours, and we have meetings in public halls around the country, and we have articles in newspapers, and we knock on doors, and we deliver leaflets, we will be saying, if you elect a Liberal Democrat majority government, we will revoke Article 50. In that campaign and in the ballot box, if the people of this country then choose to elect a majority Liberal Democrat government, then we will do exactly what we have said during that election campaign
but
and
Joe
revoke
Swinson,
Article 50.
all right, okay,
That's
hypothetically.
the way democracy works.
Actually, let me tell you how democracy
Let's-
actually...
2016.
What the fuck?
That's the way democracy works, guys.
Let me tell you how democracy works. That's how it works.
Yeah, you all voted for this thing and we disagree with it, so we're going to stand against it. And we're not going to let you have it until you. That's how democracy works. Yeah, this is why no one has actually got very much confidence in the parliament anymore.
I can't believe that they're not calling like fake votes and stuff. You know, like rigged
Ooh.
election and all that.
Wow, there you go. Actually, what was it? Was it where was the recent one? Was it Peterborough? Where Labour won. They didn't expect Labour to win in that by-election. And there in amongst the crowds was a campaigner for Labour who had previously been convicted of rigging, of election tampering via postal votes. And that particular election had been won by an overwhelming number of postal votes. And nobody freaking challenged it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like mail-in votes?
Mail-in votes, yeah, postal votes. Which are
And-
really, really dodgy.
No, man, they work perfectly fine.
You can literally just steal someone's letter, because they just throw them through the post. Sometimes they throw them through the wrong post. Like, mine was given to my next door neighbours,
Jesus.
even though it had the address on it.
Yeah.
Like, you can
Does it
literally
have your
just...
name? Did you have
Yeah,
your name?
it has your
on
name,
the, on the,
address.
on the
Everything.
envelope? On the envelope or on the vote paper?
It's not enveloped. It's like a... It's like a sheet of paper with... I can't think of the thing,
Oh,
like
it's-
card.
It's like
Over
a
the
wage slip, isn't it? It's like a
Kinda.
card that's been folded in on itself and then
Oh, right,
Kinda.
right.
perforated down the sides and mailed.
Yeah, like a tax
Yeah.
tax form kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
that type of thing. But they're easily forged, and there are certain communities, certainly certainly the areas of the communities that don't speak English as a native language are fairly renowned. If they can't read the card, they will hand it over to someone in their community that they respect to vote for them that can read it, such as religious leaders and so on. I'm not going to name any particular groups, but yes, you do get some block voting done that way, and yeah, certainly there's reason to suspect that there may have been some interesting voting practices, certainly at that particular.
Well,
that
what
vote.
what happens? What happens when somebody doesn't vote and just throws the thing in the trash?
In theory, their vote isn't cast, but
That's what I'm saying. In
there's
theory,
the possibility that vote is picked up by someone and used for them.
yeah. So their name is in a database somewhere, obviously,
Mhm.
right? And the ones that say like 75% of them return, and
Mhm.
25% don't return, right? What's stopping anybody from just saying, well, let's just vote for this 25%? Is there a check and balance system to that?
I don't know. I've never used the postal ballot system. I would hope that each postal ballot is unique and marked in such a way that they can't be forged and photocopied and just just rattle off a couple of thousand of these things and send them off.
Well, yeah, but a person, like, it doesn't get scanned, right? Like, you check a box, right?
Yeah.
So a person's got to manually review that.
You would think. I don't know. They might just be going through a machine that scans the various.
It could,
It's on
yeah,
the
that could
card.
be. It could be like those old school punch things from school.
Yeah.
The old tests, whatever they were called.
Yep. I don't know about the postal system voting. I've only ever partaken in going to my local school or wherever, post office or wherever they're holding the actual
Poll
voting-
station.
polling station. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it's got to be done, really.
I agree. And you go down there, you show your ID to prove that you're the person that it says on the card, and then you go and tick
Yeah.
your box and stick it in a box, and off you go.
Yeah, and you can't just like after you vote in one county. I don't know. They have counties over there, right?
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't. There is a sort of an ID system whereby they know who you are. They know who's due to vote at that particular station. You go in there, you say your name, you show them your driving license or whatever, and they tick. There, you've passed your vote. Here you go. There's your ballot paper. Go and vote.
Yeah, and then you can't just drive to the next county over and vote again, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you had multiple identities, you couldn't do that. But identity theft is actually a serious problem at the present moment in the UK, and whether or not that's taking place in voting or just credit card fraud, I don't know.
It's a huge problem in the States for sure. Huge.
Yeah. I've never heard of people going to the ballot box and finding out they've already voted. But there's certainly the possibility it could happen. That's quite scary thinking about it that way.
Yeah.
But it's.
I mean, there's an infinite amount of possibilities,
Mm.
of things that can happen. But the point is, the Brexit vote was decided for Brexit.
Yes. And it was.
So if there was voter tampering going on in any way, that would have been the time to do it, right?
Well, yes, and that's why I actually believe that vote was pretty solid, because it went against all of the powers that wanted it to go. Yes, let's stay in the EU. If there was ever going to be any tampering done, it would have been to swing it that way rather than the way it went. Unless, of course, it was the pesky Russians again.
Oh yeah, those pesky hacker Russians, always at it,
Yeah,
rigging our elections.
yeah, that's it.
When are
I
they
like
gonna
how-
when are they gonna release the Queen's piss dossier? That's always pissed.
It's about time, isn't it?
On
Really.
a trip to the Kremlin.
Yeah. We know that there was a piss tape. We just can't find it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This was the bed that Diana slept in. Oh, really? Bring in the hookers. Oh, I'm gonna get shot for that.
And did you
No,
notice?
no,
Did you notice that like
Contra.
deep fakes, like after that whole bullshit piss tape bullcrap with Trump, right, where the tape just never surfaced, like all of a sudden now deep fakes are a big thing.
Oh, I know. Deepfakes scare the hell out of me. There's so much danger there. So
Oh,
much
yeah,
danger. How long before we don't know? I mean, I know we don't know for certain what happened in the past. There's all sorts of classic, the victors write the history type stuff. But now we can actually literally sort of edit a video to make John F. Kennedy say whatever he wants, or Donald Trump, or whomever. I guarantee you, it will not be long before we have a tape released where we've got Putin and Donald Trump conspiring about something or other that is just a massive fake. It's going to be so easy to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We are going to have to question everything. We are going to have to literally tear each video apart pixel by pixel to look for.
Well, I tend to like live everything I do in life. I believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see.
Yeah.
But now it's like believe nothing of what you hear and nothing of what you see. It's fucking impossible to believe anything anymore.
Yeah, the only thing you know is true is that which you have seen for yourself. And you only know that that's true for that moment and for the players.
Yeah, but even now, like the stuff that you see for yourself, it's like, You know, I mean, when you say see for yourself, I think you mean in person, right?
Yeah, in person.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
even then,
but oh yeah, I mean, Tupac did a really good show a couple like whenever that was, years ago, right? The Tupac hologram.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Wasn't a hologram though.
You know what I mean, right?
It was just some midget dressed up as Tupac. Don't believe the lies.
You get what I'm saying, man. It's easy
Yeah.
to fake stuff, right?
Very. I mean, anybody that watched the original and the recent Mission Impossible stuff knows it's very easy to set somebody up to think and see that something is happening when it isn't. It's something else.
Oh, you talking about opening the hospital thing?
I'm just talking about if you want to persuade somebody that something has happened, you only need a bunch of actors in a room, and you can make them think that they've experienced something for real that isn't.
No, crisis actors, conspiracy theory, crisis actors.
Look, I gotta say, I'm a little retarded, but.
I mean, some stuff just doesn't flat out add up, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody has all the facts and all that stuff, but some shit, like, you know, I'm gonna totally believe that Epstein took a bunch of fucking toilet paper and just did a cannonball off of his top bunk.
Yeah, because that toilet paper is really strong when you put it in the right way. Yeah. You can definitely hold the weight of a human being and even break his bones in his neck.
Magically he like blinked his eyes 3 times and made sure the camera shut off. So
yeah, well, he was renowned for his ability to EMP cameras at range, just with his mind, and send people to sleep as well. That the guy had exceptional telepathic powers.
My Discord died there for a minute, so I missed it. Whatever it was.
And we were just
it's
commenting
just
on
Epstein and his magic powers.
Yeah.
Bro, how fucking high do you have to be to believe Epstein actually committed suicide?
No, dude, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Stop it.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That man, without a doubt, was not murdered / spirited away, and then.
But some people it gets going too far sometimes, right? Like, you remember when I showed you that video, that new drone footage that somebody took, where it showed that like gardener or whoever he was that looked like Epstein?
Yeah.
Alive on the island?
Yeah, but he looked like someone that fitted a vague description of someone about the same age with roughly the same hair color and the same skin color. It could have been anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. People get into it, and there was a lot of talk about that footage itself being like Epstein, and people were like putting his face side by side and like literally fucking CIA enhance that, enhance it. It was nuts, man. That went on for a long time too. People breaking that down, and nothing ever came of it. It was just a waste of time.
No, it's that you've got the source footage, and the source footage is only of a certain quality, and
yeah. But yeah, people will think anything,
I suspect he's dead. I suspect he's dead. It's far easier to make him dead, and make all the problems go away than to try and spirit him away, and then run the risk of him cropping up again at some point. That would be, if they had smuggled him out, put a body in there, and said, "Oh no, he's dead. Look, here's a homeless person that looks like him."
I mean, that body that they wheeled out of that thing into that hospital, that was a little weird,
I was not happy about the ears being different and the nose being different. So
yeah, and like all the facial features, like that guy looked like Roger Stone.
I'm no specialist in looking at pictures of people after they've died and the effects that may have on them.
Yeah, but it doesn't change the cartilage in your ear, right? Like
No,
you swell up, you swell up a bit and stuff like that. But
yeah, that ear was definitely different. But I don't know.
Maybe he just had 2 different ears, right? You know how like cameras flip images and stuff, and we were just seeing the other side of him that we've never seen before.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe they just stuck out a fake picture because they like fucking with people on 4chan.
Yeah, it could be. Could be like I said, man. There's an infinite amount of possibilities.
There is so many possibilities on that, but
We'll never know the truth. That's for sure.
I don't know if I even want to. On that front,
I do.
That is some truth there that can get you into a lot of trouble.
I don't care, man.
No, fair enough.
I want to know.
Kind of with you, but yeah. Anyway,
like all the stupid things that have the Gulf of Tonkin and all that crap, right? You got to know the truth because you got to be able to see what they're capable of.
Yeah. Yeah. But does it make you sleep easier at night?
I don't sleep at night anyway. You know that.
Well, that's fair. No, there's a lot of stuff that I know a lot of people wouldn't be happy with, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of hinky stuff going off at the moment. A lot of hinky stuff. It's like this whole Saudi Arabia oil fields being bombed. That's
yeah.
That's a whole different subject. But either Iran is desperate to get their ass kicked, which seems insane. Or
dude, what was I telling you? You remember when that whole thing happened when we were first going over there?
With the oil.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But what was I telling you, man?
I know. There's something very hinky going off over there at the present moment, and
well, it's the fucking Middle East, dude. Hanky shit's been going off over there since
yes,
people were still walking around in loincloths and shit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's carry on and watch this.
Yeah, we got a whole 3 minutes and 58 seconds into this.
Person getting ripped up. I should maybe phrase that because that's not pretty.
I know what you were going.
I personally, I wouldn't even know.
I don't know, man. It's moist.
Oof.
Man, I phased out for like the last 10 minutes looking up Jeffrey Epstein shit.
Oh, see what we did? See what we did do? All right, back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic. We'll talk about that one later when we're not.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'll be around, guys. Maybe the next hour. If I suddenly go offline without saying anything.
Just hear a pop. Hear a pop in the background. Some guy comes on the mic like he just committed suicide. Don't tell anybody.
Right, yes.
17.4 million people voted to leave.
Let me tell you how democracy works. It works the way Paddy Ashdown says it worked. That when you have a vote that you give to the people and they vote a certain way, you say Paddy Ashdown wanted to stop Brexit. Yeah, he voted Remain. I voted Remain. I would do again. However, as Paddy Ashdown said, if the result comes back the other way to the way that you want it, you absolutely have to honour that democratic result and the democratic majority of the people of this country. I've got one question for you. Given you fly so loose now with the result of democratic votes, if you were to win a general election, Liberal Democrats, with a majority, it's unlikely, but things happen. It's a crazy time in politics. Say you win. Why should I accept it? Why shouldn't I just, the moment that result comes in, immediately stand up and say, nope, I'm not having it. I refuse to acknowledge that the Liberal Democrats have won a majority. Sorry, tough titty. It ain't happening.
He makes a good point, doesn't he?
Yeah, I like.
Yeah.
What's her fucking name? I forget her name sometimes.
What, Joe Swinson? Or
No,
the girl in green?
Yeah,
I don't know her name.
but she did not look happy when he said titty. She was so in agreement up until that point.
Misogyny.
It's Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is one of those guys that I don't think many people actually really like a great deal, but he does make a couple of damn good points there, and at least he's got the honesty to say yes, he voted for Remain, but he would at least honour the.
Dude, the best thing I've ever seen that Piers Morgan was involved in was that Alex Jones gun control debate, where Alex Jones was just freaking out. 1776 will commence again, screaming it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was the best. I could watch that like once a day for the rest of my life and be happy.
I love Alex Jones. I love watching his stuff. I mean, you don't take it massively seriously, but damn, that dude can be right more often than is comfortable for some people.
That whole interview was like the greatest meme imaginable. It was just so much of an awesome troll.
Yeah.
I mean, he was serious. He was serious, right? But he was really fucking laying into Pierce Morgan.
Dude.
It's like, dude, we're just watching that. Like, my dick grew like 10 inches larger.
Damn. That's a lot.
Dude, have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen it?
I've not seen your dick grow 10 inches longer. No.
Not my dick, you fucking.
I'm happy to report that.
You've seen the Alex Jones thing though with him, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Dude, you gotta watch it again, man. Watch it again and tell me that that's not the best thing you've ever seen.
I've certainly seen Alex Jones go off on 1776 will commence again, etc.
Yeah, I remember it. But jeez,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I don't know, man. Popping a semi watching that's pretty gay.
I can't help myself, man. What do you think?
Wait, 10 inches is a semi?
Isn't it for you?
Damn.
Just the raw, like, what is that shit that he sells? Brain Force or whatever? Alpha Power? Or, Alpha Power. The raw, like, Alpha Power.
Hypermasculinity or...
supplement, whatever.
Caveman supplements and
exactly, right? Just watching him do that just fucking filled me with the most Alpha Power possible,
Alex
hyper male vitality, that's it.
Super
That's
male
the cheapest one.
Super male. Yeah, super male vitality.
Fucking hell. Oh my god.
Like it was coursing through my veins watching him tear into Pierce Morgan. Just flat out inject that stuff while he's doing that.
Right, anyway, should we see what her answer is?
She's just been told that why should we respect the vote? That yes.
If she doesn't respect our vote, yeah.
But you know what? In that scenario where there's a Liberal Democrat majority government, I think there'll be also other MPs who will be elected to Parliament who will not agree with us, and they will vote against us in Parliament in the same way that I was elected in 2005
That's not the
as
question.
a Liberal Democrat.
That's not what I said.
There was a Labour majority
I'm not talking
government,
about what...
and I continued to vote against them.
No, but Joe, I'm saying you don't even get that far. I'm saying I simply refuse, and the other parties rise up and say, no, by Joe Swinson's own rule book, we are simply not going to accept the result of the election. Yes, the Liberal Democrats have won. Yes, the people have spoken. Yes, it was a democratic election, but we are simply not going to accept it. You won't be in Parliament having these debates you're talking about because the other parties will have taken your rule and applied it to yourself, and they will say we are not accepting the result of that election. Then what?
Piers, democracy did not end on the 23rd of June 2016.
But we wish it had.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Like, what the fuck is she even talking? What is she trying to fucking say?
She can't answer the question. Of course she can't answer
Dude,
the question.
it like, did you notice, like, it looks like she's having a mini stroke sometimes, like half her face kind of falls asleep or something.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously not very happy with the way this interview is going, and rightly so.
Well, it's like she got a mental problem or something going on here, right? It's like democracy didn't end there, but what the fuck are you talking about, lady? This is what you're trying to end democracy. You didn't get what you wanted.
She feels very proud about remembering the exact date that the Brexit vote took place.
Yeah.
And I think that she thinks because she said the date, she got an epic owner. I think that's what's going on here.
Independence Day. Will it forever
I can't
be known?
I can't figure out what she's trying to say here because it's just beyond me.
Well, let's see what she says now, and because I mean, at the end of the day, she's a politician, so it's all double talk and nice words that mean nothing. Sound and fury signifying nothing, as Shakespeare would have put it. Look at that, cultured me.
Starting to sound like her trick. Jesus. Marty Pence, alright, I get it.
We live in a democracy, and as a leading Brexiteer once said, David Davis, if a democracy ceases to be able to change its mind, then it ceases to be a democracy. So if we have a general election where undoubtedly Brexit is going to be the key issue, and the people of this country vote in a party as a majority that has a clear position that we want to stop Brexit, then in those circumstances, that will be a mandate to stop Brexit and to revoke
so in
Article
other
50.
words,
And until that point, we will still continue to campaign to have a people's vote on the Brexit deal.
In other words, if you get the result you want in that general
What the
election,
fuck?
that's fine, and that must be observed and respected, and actually no one should be allowed to stand up to it. What happens if Boris Johnson wins that election with a mandate for no deal? What happens if he actually campaigns?
Well, we'll just do it again.
No deal. No, well, let me know. Well, by your own criteria, Joe Swinson, would you then accept that he has a mandate for no deal if he wins?
Look, you will not be surprised that I'm going to be standing up.
She was
for what
about to
I
say
believe in.
yes.
But let's be clear, if Boris Johnson wins a majority at that election, he will take that as a mandate for a no-deal Brexit.
Would you accept
and
it?
take our country
Would you-
off the cliff
would you
edge.
accept
And
it?
people need to
What
have a
the
choice
fuck,
in that
lady?
election.
I understand that.
I will
Can't
still
accept it.
campaign
I
against
understand.
it, Piers. I'm
I
not
understand,
going
but would
to
you
stop
accept?
standing up for
I'm
what
not
I
saying
believe
you
in.
wouldn't campaign against it. I'm saying, would you accept, by your own rule again, that Boris Johnson, in that eventuality, would then have a mandate from the people to deliver no deal? Would you accept it? Because you're not accepting Brexit.
Can she say
Well,
yes?
I would recognise that there would be very little I would be able to do about it, although I would still be campaigning for what I think is in the best interest of our country.
Massive
and that is what
fucking
we're all
hypocrite.
elected to do, those of us in politics, to stand
Standards
up
for
for what we
them.
think is in
Yeah.
the national.
You know what's the interesting thing is that I heard this earlier. This was told to me by a friend who actually let me know that back in 2008 she was campaigning for the referendum.
Well,
She was
so the
actually
thing,
pro the referendum until it actually started to go through, and then she backflipped over and changed her opinion on the whole thing.
so what are you saying? She got paid off?
Oh well, there's something else we could go into. Let's put it this way: as a Lib Dem who is supposed to be a massive environmentalist, she has apparently been known to take payment from fracking companies and then immediately stand in the way and block environmental efforts to stop those types of things. I'm actually not massively against fracking, so I don't think she did anything particularly wrong in that way. But she's known to say one thing and then do another on a couple of occasions, and I believe someone's doing a video about that. And
Well, that's
releasing it at this
politicians.
point. Yeah, exactly. That's nothing
you know.
new. But yeah, she is a gigantic hypocrite in my opinion, and I wouldn't like to psychoanalyze her, but I think there's a pathology that she has that I'm.
I mean, I'll like, the problem is that it was voted on more than once. Brexit won, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's just get out of the fucking thing, right? Why do you need to have a deal and all that crap? Right? Leave.
That's
you know,
it.
it's
You
your
leave.
country.
Leave. Make the fucking deals with the countries you want to trade with, and see.
Yeah.
We could have been gone out of Europe for 2 or 3 years now, and been making headway. Either failing and been looking to join back up, or making our own way. But either way, it's people like this that have been standing in the way of England actually making any sort of headway whatsoever in this.
Yeah. So what I was going to say, like, it's all fine and good, right? She wants to campaign, and she wants to be an activist more than anything else, right? She's trying to be an activist in this and preach all this stuff of why we should not leave and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, leave already won, right? Yeah. So leave, and then it's. I bet I can't say for sure, right? But if the EU left, or sorry, if the UK left the EU, and 2 years later or whatever, they were like, man, this sucks, we want back in the EU, Is there like is the door just shut permanently?
There have been rumours that that's the standpoint that the EU would take, but considering the amount
Yeah, but
of
that's
money,
just a threat.
yeah,
That's
just
a threat.
They are taking, what is it, 39 billion a year off England. If that stopped and then they had the ability to take it back again, they would probably want that 39 billion. That's
Yeah.
floating a large
I
part
mean,
of Europe.
at the end of the day, it's business, right? You don't mix your emotions in business. You know, you don't have personal grudges in business. It's just business.
You shouldn't.
If it's if it's a good deal, well, good business, right? That's a good bit. If it's good business, you do the business. You don't care about the people, you're doing business with or that kind of thing. You just do it. If it's a good deal, you take it.
Yeah, we're not dealing with business people here, though. I mean, there's an awful lot of people that are in the EU. I mean, Christine Lagarde, who's currently just been put in a chief financial position in the EU, is guilty of gross negligence. Actually convicted of gross negligence. It wasn't punished for it in any way, shape, or form. Wasn't given a criminal record, but she was found guilty of gross negligence and slate wiped clean and put in charge of Europe. So these people are not business people. These people are ideologues. They have an ideology that they stick to, and those that share that ideology back each other up.
Well, I'm going by like if the EU was gone and then they wanted back in, right?
Yeah.
That's a business deal. It's a business deal at the end of the day.
Yes. They would make us kowtow to every demand that they wanted to get us back in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
To leave and then go back would be horrifying. They would make England, who has saved Europe twice in the last 100 years, they would try to make us subservient to Germany and France.
But once you guys leave, it's just hypothetical. Once you guys leave, you're gone, right? You're not going back. Period.
Fuck no.
But like, if you guys left, you were gone right now, today, out of the EU, independent on your own. What she's saying is fine, man. I got no problem with what she's saying, right? But standing in the way of an election that already took place, and not my presidenting, like they could cry, like the people over here when they did that whole thing, not my president chants and all that stuff. That's fine. Like they don't like the president, whatever, right? But he's the president. Mm-hmm. In this case with Brexit, they voted. You guys voted on it multiple times, and it's still being talked about like it's not going to happen. That's a terrible thing.
Yeah, if you compare the Brexit vote to Donald Trump winning the election, this would be like Obama refusing to move out of the White House.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be, and it would, all the people in the streets crying and stuff, they would be cheering.
And you'd have ended up with a civil war in the process.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You'd have ended up with all manner of militias and all sorts of stuff, and yeah, that would be a horrifying state to see. But for some reason, there's many reasons, but England is not in a state to rise up against the actual state apparatus because...
Well, currently, the main reason is because we are being promised again and again that it will eventually happen.
Yes.
If our government was to turn around and say we are remaining, we're revoking Article 50, if the Tory government did that, that's in place right now, there would be civil war.
Potentially. I know I would be most unhappy about it, and would be willing to ask some friends to join me in a protest or two. Definitely. And yeah.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be nice. Mainly because at that point, Parliament is going against. I reckon the Queen would actually have to get involved at that point, as much as she likes remaining apolitical.
Yes.
Whatever happened... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, finish.
It would probably mean the dissolution
of Parliament?
Dissolution of Parliament, yes.
That hasn't happened since Charles II, and he lost his head in that process, but yes.
No, not true. Charles II didn't lose his head.
Wasn't it Charles II? Which one?
Charles I did.
Charles I. Sorry, you're right. Damn.
Oliver Cromwell killed him. Had off with his head.
And Oliver Cromwell dissolved Parliament either. It wasn't the parliamentary forces. Oliver Cromwell was a military dictator.
Yes, he dissolved Parliament about halfway through his military campaign.
Yeah.
And then took over the entire country. And then, I think it was 2 years after he'd put through all the policies he wanted, he then wasn't seen for a week and was found dead in his bed. Charles II was reinstated, and Charles II dissolved Parliament that had been fresh for like a day.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with
That's
you remember when France was like, we're gonna kick you out of the EU?
Yeah, they did
What-
that recently. They said that
Yeah, like,
recently.
Whatever happened with that? Like,
Well, because they said that recently when Boris Johnson prorogued Parliament. Basically,
Yeah.
Parliament is on holiday, and yeah, France and the EU in general basically said that's undemocratic. We will kick you out of the EU. And to paraphrase Boris Johnson heavily, I can't remember the exact words that he said, but it basically boiled down to "Do it, faggot." And,
Yeah.
and they sort of mumbled a bit about it and then didn't do anything.
yeah, well, that's fucking bullshit, man. Like, that would have been a really good plan.
Yeah.
Just piss them off so they kick us out, and then they kick you out, and
That's it. They kick us
Wonderful.
out. It's almost the best of all worlds if they kick us out.
yeah,
Because then we
Yeah.
go, okay, well, you don't get your billions every year. We're free to do whatever we like. Here we go, Mr. Donald Trump. There's the trade agreement with America, and we'll be signing one with Japan soon, and one with China, and we've got the entire South America. Well, not at least Peru, Chile, Brazil, and a couple of others already want to sign up as well. We've got the whole freaking Commonwealth that actually we are still on very good terms with, that we would sign up with, and turn that into a trade block. And you know what? I think we'd do fine. In fact,
Yeah.
we'd probably outtrade Europe at that point if we got the Commonwealth involved. That's definitely pie in the sky and the best possible outcome. But yeah,
they're not going to do it.
you know what, they could. If we did the Commonwealth, we would actually get access straight into Africa and the African Union as well, which, yes, we could look at return of empires at that point. I know that makes the
man.
Americans shake. Oh no! the
Not at
English are
all, dude.
coming.
Come at us, dude. You could get your
A
get your
1%
crappy
tax rate. No.
crappy warships. Your crappy warships can come over here and just get blown out of the water.
Look, we're not going to make you run off ringing your bells or anything like that. It's okay. I think you're safe.
Hey man, I'll be the first guy to ride a horseback through screaming the British are coming.
I actually think that an Anglosphere trade agreement across Canada, America, even Australia and New Zealand, something like that would be great because we all speak the
Listen
same
to this
language.
guy. Even our prison island.
Even our prison island, as silly as they
Well,
are,
We'll take stuff from them, sure.
with their
Might
strange,
even-
with their strange animals that bite and kill you.
To be fair, we were just hoping they'd all die off. That was the hope. Here's a massive, dangerous island in which we find only desert.
Only desert
They were
and animals that
possibly-
kill you.
It won't possibly survive this.
God damn it, they survived.
I loved when it was like it was whatever their version of like a vice president is, because they've got prime minister and shit.
Yes.
They've also
Yes.
got like a vice president, and they were asked like, how would you feel about a trade agreement with the UK? And they were like, well, they do own us.
You see that? That corner of the flag over there?
Well, he wasn't happy about it. He just sounded very depressed.
Yeah.
Well, they do own us. Oh, beautiful.
We could have a great trade in drop bears and
We could turn their desert into nice forest.
don't get me
Hey, Trey.
started on that. That takes hours to explain. I've tried it before, but we can do it. You're absolutely right. We will turn that desert back into a lush forest, despite all of the damage that the Aboriginals did to it.
You ain't never turning that into nothing.
No,
Oh, you totally could.
it
Like-
would work. Yeah.
Most of it's X-mining, and what I understand of Trigg's method, you'd need all those mines to start putting in like water,
Mhm.
and you could
but you're
probably
never
turn
gonna
a lot of that.
It is a totally workable plan.
But
Yeah.
you're never gonna do it. That's the point.
Well, no.
No,
I'm
the
lazy.
whole point is you promised that to Australia. They give you all their shit, and then we tell them to get fucked and get
Look,
eaten
they
by
have uranium. They have uranium and they have lithium. That and opals and diamonds and lions and tigers and bears. It's great. Just and all those crocodiles. They make great boots. I'm just saying. Right,
Oh.
shall we carry on with this bull-nosed freaking this woman's face.
Yep.
Imagine waking up next to that. Anyway.
With respect
I
to
don't
you,
think
Joe
that
Swinson,
enough
with
of our
respect to you,
politicians-
you are not elected actually to pretend that democracy hasn't happened.
No.
The point of Parliament is to enact the will of the people in referendums and elections. That's your job.
Hang on, but yeah, exactly, and elections, Piers. And the point is that people do have the option to make a choice. It is not that point in time is
Oh,
set
for
in
fuck's
stone
sake.
and nobody can ever change their mind, or the country, knowing what we do now about the medicine and food shortages, that, as I say, they weren't plastered over the side
What
of a
fucking
bus.
medicine and
People
food
do not need
shortages?
to just
She's out
accept
of her
that. They
fucking
can
mind.
choose a different option.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
if we're in a general election, as Liberal Democrat leader, I will be making sure
Okay,
that they
let me
have...
ask you this.
Look, we have a fat person problem in this country. People are too fucking well fed. I'm not saying we should have a food shortage, but I don't see people starving in the fucking streets.
Hey man, their cheese is running out. Can't get cheese anymore.
This gives me a good trade idea. Hold on.
We'll get this car, we'll fill it up with brie.
Dude,
Oh no.
We can make
I-
it a feedle as well.
I legitimate. I do not like this woman. It can't be for real. She just can't. This can't be real. This is just a show.
I'm
This
not
is
kidding,
like-
dude. This is the leader of one of the 3 fucking main political parties in the country.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean it's not a show. That doesn't mean she's not fucking totally fake. Like, you know, it literally they're turning all of this whole entire process with everything, all the political bullshit, rather than being, you know, like it was back in the day before there was TV, right? They're turning it into fucking soap operas. It's not real anymore. Nothing is real. This is like, I do not believe that this lady holds these beliefs, because what she's saying,
Oh, she doesn't.
yeah, what she's saying is complete and utter nonsense bullshit. She's acting.
I trust Boris Johnson a little bit. I trust him that he is definitely anti the EU and pro Brexit. I trust Jeremy Corbyn because he has said many times, and we know he's a complete batshit crazy communist, and I trust him to be that way. This one, however, is flip-flopped and told people whatever she fucking likes, and then done something completely different.
Yeah, but
so many goddamn times.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, man. Every superhero movie has to have a villain, right?
Mhm.
So you gotta have somebody to fight with, and it's splitting the population 50-50, right? So there has to be one person on one side saying something that half of the people like, and one person on the other side saying the opposite thing that the other half of the people like.
So wait, is your analogy for like the main 3 parties? Bojo is Batman, this lady is the Joker, and Corbyn's Two-Face. Is this the
something like
Dark
that.
Knight reenacted?
Something like that, right? Like, dude, it's just a fucking show, man. It's like this whole crap anymore is just a fucking show to keep people angry and keep their attention on this nonsense, right? I mean, how long is this going to go on for? It's what she's saying is absolute nonsense, right? And anybody with an IQ over room temperature understands it to be nonsense.
Yeah.
So what's the point of putting it on the fucking TV?
Hold on, is
So that
room
people
temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Kelvin.
Kelvin.
Yeah.
Actually, that's quite high, you know. That's actually a
Gauss.
big number, Gauss. Gauss. Gauss is a temperature measurement.
Kilogram.
Yeah, that's a kilogram.
But yeah, dude, it's just a show, man. It's literally like, this is just a soap opera anymore. This isn't the news. This is the news show. It's just to hold people's attention. It's just nonsense. It's literal fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, look at the kind of shit they put on CNN and MSNBC sometimes. You know, it's like South Park, live action, but they're saying that it's fact when, you know, it's just bullshit. I don't believe anything anymore. I don't believe any of this. I don't believe any of this is real. I just believe that everything is a rich man's trick, right?
Mhm.
I just believe that it's just there to keep people occupied and angry, while other shit goes on in the background.
That's probably the
That's-
actual case, but yes, I like to think that there is a fundamental basis of democracy in Parliament at the moment, and it's not just a massive show.
There's not, dude. If there was, right? If there was, this lady wouldn't be on TV. They wouldn't be fighting about it because the people voted multiple times. Nothing's happened. It's just been banter back and forth, and it's going to go on like that for as long as people let it.
Yeah.
It's just a show. It's just a show to keep it going on. That's all it is.
Oh, that's depressing thought, but yes, quite probably the reality of the matter. Damn.
Because this lady, dude, like the more I listen to her, the more I just don't want to listen to her anymore.
Yeah,
Like
no,
what she's saying literally doesn't matter. It's like nothing about what she's talking about has any basis in reality.
she doesn't
it's
even
like-
answer the questions. She would
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm
asking a
saying.
question, she just moves her mouth and noise comes out.
Yeah, and that's how, like, if you look at interviews with people who disagree on the news, that's how they all are.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit. It's like dance around the question, just spill your. It's people talking over each other, and just that's it. Like, there's no semblance of reason to it at all.
Shall we move?
Anyway,
Yeah, let's press.
A
Let me ask you
different
this. You
option.
mentioned-
And if
Wait,
you
there
choose
was
that
one more thing
option,
I was
I
gonna
will
add.
deliver it.
Okay.
Is the changing of the mind thing. That I like. At first, I thought it was kind of a good point, and then I realized, well, you haven't changed your mind because of any new information come out. The only way you change your mind, if you're a Leave voter, that is that the process is taking too long and it's being too damaging. The problem is Brexit hasn't even been enacted yet, so there is no,
yeah.
Brexit itself has done no damage yet.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
just-
That's the thing.
All of
If it happened and it was active right now, and you guys were gone and independent and out, what she would be saying is valid. But
Yeah.
because it didn't happen, it never happened, and it's not going to happen anytime in the near future. I guarantee you. What she's saying makes absolutely no sense at all, and there's no reason to listen to her.
Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
this food shortages and drug shortages. I mean, Christ, give me a break. Most decent drugs are bought from the United States anyway. That's not going to change.
Yeah.
There's
think
a
that's what-
whole freaking world out there to trade with. It's with the financial hub of Europe in London. I mean, anyway, that's a great place to pause it. Actually, look at his faces. Damn.
The lady in the green's tongue.
Yeah, that's it. She hasn't said anything apart from poor faces all interview. She's just
She looks like she's going to shift at like into second gear or something.
yeah. Oh,
You mentioned broken promises on buses, right? I mean, have you ever broken promises to the electorate?
Yeah, and I tell you what, I wouldn't recommend it. You know, we
Have
learned
you?
a lot
Have you
from
done
our
it?
time in
Oh,
coalition,
wow.
and there's things which I regret. Yes.
Which
I
one? Which was the
absolutely
biggest
think we
promise
got
that
it
you
wrong
broke?
on tuition fees, and
All right. So
I
yeah, just to remind people who
absolutely
may not know,
regret we got it wrong on tuition
you
fees.
told people in this country.
I've just
if you-
said it twice, Piers.
I know, and I'm just explaining to viewers who may not be as savvy as you or I
Hold on, pause it really quick.
what you actually did, which is
Why? Like, this is it. Okay, we're in 2019, right?
mm-hmm.
I'm talking to you, right?
Yep.
And you're hearing me like in real time, right? Like,
Mhm.
we're on a. What the fuck is with the delay in the news? Like, you could tell that there's like a good 5-second delay between what he's saying and what she's hearing. You know, like, why is this fucking? Why is this like? It makes for an extremely difficult conversation because she's halfway into saying something and he says something, and she tries to respond to it, and then he says something else, and then she shuts up. It's just fucking like it looks like a fucking. It looks purposefully done to me. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I
It's
mean,
called ITV.
yeah, there may be sort of people sat in between that need, a few seconds to sort of, oh no, he said that, let's bleep that out, or something.
Yeah, but that's a delay for the whole entire show, right? I'm talking about the connection between him and her. There's no reason to bleep out something between him and Like it should be a live community, like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the show, the show itself can be delayed by like 30 seconds, so they have time to bleep something, but not the conversation between the two. It's 2019.
Yeah, I mean, the 80s, sure, you phoned someone in Australia and there was a 20-second delay. But
yeah, the satellite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not anymore. Not anymore. We can do this live. It's milliseconds. But
yeah, I just had to point that out because it's fucking annoying. It's annoying.
It's a fair point.
She's trying to respond, and he's like, "But this, oh no, no, but that, oh no, no, oh, no, no, wait, and it's confusing."
But he's made an interesting point here. She's just owned up to this whole tuition fee thing, and I hope he's going to say this because the Lib Dems were sat there going, "We want to reduce tuition fees for students," and then they got into power. They were in a coalition with the Conservatives. They wanted to reduce tuition fees. They were in a position to actually do it, and instead of reducing tuition fees, they tripled them. And they got burned for it in a big way. And it's important to remember that these people lie and do exactly the opposite of what they say all the fucking time.
It's just a show.
Yeah.
Actually, you, Joe Swinson, stood there with Liberal Democrats and you vowed we're going to get rid of tuition fees. And the moment you got a sniff of power, you actually trebled them. I mean, you talk about Boris Johnson betraying people with a promise on a bus, right? What could be a bigger breach of a promise to the young people of this country than actually trebling the fees you said you would get rid of?
Look, Piers, I've said very clearly, we got that wrong, I got that wrong, and I've learned from that. And I am determined to stop Brexit. I'm standing on that.
Look, I fucked up, but fuck you, man. I'm fucking you.
How do you fuck that up?
I can't watch this anymore, man. I literally can't. I can't deal with it.
Come on, we've got 5 more minutes.
Dude, my heart can't take this.
Joe, on this piece of paper, all you have to do is write next to tuition fees 0. Okay, that's all you have to do, Joe. Here's the piece. No, not times 3. Not times 3. Joe, what are you?
I know I messed that up, but I'm determined to Brexit this time. What the fuck? What the fuck was that, dude?
It might be, this delay you it might just be her brain trying to decipher the best way of bullshitting her way out of the question. It might be live, and she's just going, bullshit.
Just amazing, man. It's amazing. I couldn't believe it. I just can't deal with the news.
Look, I messed up there. I put X3 on that piece of paper instead of 0. But I won't do that with Brexit.
maybe, dude. Wait. Maybe we should put her in charge of fucking the opposite side, dude. Because she's like, this is the stupidest shit ever, man. Nobody's gonna fucking listen to this.
As leader of the opposition, yeah, she'd be great because she'd be absolutely completely ineffectual. I'd rather her get more votes than Labour, but I think Tories are our best hope at the moment, and I hate myself for saying that because good God, some of the things they've pulled. But I like Boris Johnson. He's my kind of Tory. He's funny.
I don't know. In my opinion, politicians should be some of the poorest rich people imaginable, and they're not.
My personal opinion is politicians should be.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there, but there should be sort of repercussions for failing the country. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I told you I was going to do this, but I actually did the opposite times 3. And
wait, what are you doing with that rope? Wait. No, not on the lamppost.
Just amazing, dude. It's just like, I don't know.
Pinata time.
And that is a principle I am sticking to absolutely clearly. And if I'm elected as Prime Minister with a Liberal Democrat majority, then don't be surprised that I stick by my word and stop Brexit.
Bitch, you fucking just admitted to...
I hope you keep your word. Your track record isn't great on this. I mean, you also campaigned for a referendum in Europe, didn't you?
We said that there should be a referendum if there's treaty change. We passed a law to that effect. We haven't had the treaty change. And we certainly shouldn't have been having a referendum in the circumstances of trying to save the Conservative Party with a short period of time to actually have the campaign and then triggering Article 50 before we'd even worked out what our negotiating position was, before the Cabinet had even agreed a negotiating position. There has been a catalogue of errors by Conservative Prime Ministers in this. We are in a Brexit mess because they have put the Conservative Party ahead of the national interest, and it is time for that to stop. We can end the Brexit chaos, and the way to do that is by stopping Brexit.
Sounds a bit like...
Bitch, we voted for fucking Brexit. All the Conservatives have tried to do is actually fucking deliver Brexit, and you cunts like her fucking got in the way all the fucking way. And it's
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But she can fix it by stopping the fucking democratically elected Brexit that everybody said we wanted. Happy thoughts?
I can't. I just can't. I got nothing else.
Yeah.
I gave it all I got.
Let's carry on. We've got a couple of more minutes, and if I have.
Yep. No.
Party
Yeah. I'll
who only
watch.
wants a referendum
Yeah.
they know they can win and will only respect a referendum result if they're the winners.
Well, I think there is a separate issue for us to discuss as a country about how we use referendums and whether they are the ideal mechanism if we have a country that is
I think it
divided.
was a mistake then.
Oh.
Whether they might...
A referendum that,
Oh.
at one stage you backed.
Oh no.
Fucking unbelievable,
I've-
dude.
That delay
This-
is her having a brain fart every fucking time, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's
there's a
got it.
delay. I think it's her just trying to fucking work out how to fucking get
Dude,
out of this.
Yeah, she's only in Bournemouth. There should only be like a second delay at
There
best.
shouldn't even be the second delay. It should be instant.
yeah, but you
I
could
don't know
tell in the earlier parts. You could tell that there's like a good 5-second delay
Yeah.
between what he's saying and what she's hearing. Because when they were in that conversation where they were both talking over each other, it was just noticeable. But
Yeah.
she's like, I thought in the beginning she was having a stroke because her lip was doing that thing,
Yeah.
that stroke people do. And now I'm fully fucking convinced that her brain was literally replaced by like Google, and it's just a monkey in there dancing around.
She has
Or
just
the
said.
symbols.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She has just said that a referendum is illegitimate.
Yeah.
Like full stop.
Yeah, I don't
Referendums aren't legitimate.
Referendums,
Dude,
referendums on democracy. You can't ask the demos to vote
Then
on
why are
stuff
you
and
asking
expect it
for
to be
another one?
Yeah.
I literally stopped listening to whatever she had to say. Like it's going in one ear and out the other, and nothing is being
That's
absorbed from it anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking. This is dumb.
This is one of the dumbest fucking conversations I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
In the
You know,
last few years, I've lived through
We're so
two
close.
referendums, the
so
Scottish
close.
independence referendum and obviously the Brexit referendum, and I do think we have a very divided country at the moment, and I think there's a lot of us who want us to be able to come together, and it's very hard in these.
I wonder why it's
circumstances, and I do
divided, you
think we need
fucking
to
bitch.
find
And you think,
I can
ways to
spell out
respect
that
to
division.
Swinson, you
engage
think-
in debate.
You think the way
If
to
you'd
unite
like.
this country on Brexit is to simply pretend it hasn't happened and to tell 17.5 million people your vote counted for nothing? If I get into power, literally, I'm going to ignore you. I'm not just going to have a second vote. I'm going to revoke Article 50. I'm going to stop Brexit. And you're standing there proudly saying you are the unifying voice in this country because you're going to tell 17.4 million Brits who voted in one way, your vote counted for nothing. And that's going to solve everything. They're all going to go, thank you so much, Joe Swinson. I really appreciate your efforts to unify the country, and I couldn't agree with you more.
I'm under no illusions about the challenges that are facing our country right now and how difficult it is to unite the country. I believe that we need to resolve Brexit in order to get on with making people's lives better and dealing with many of the genuine concerns and injustices and grievances that people have, and for some people, led them to vote for Brexit. I appreciate
Some
it was
people.
a complex issue with millions of people voting.
Some
Of course,
people.
there were a wide
Some
variety
people.
of reasons why people voted
It
for
was
that.
the
But there were
single
some very
biggest vote in the
genuine
history of
economic
this
concerns
country.
that
It's not some people.
That's what I said. There's millions and millions of people, and of course, therefore.
That's what I
there were
said.
many
That's, you know,
reasons.
just a couple, man.
It's not a binary
17
situation
and a
where there's
half
only
million people.
one
Some-
thing which was a factor that
it's
led
like
people
some
to vote how
people
they
did
did. But there
something
were
on
very
9/11.
genuine concerns
Yeah, right.
about how the economy
Christ,
doesn't
some
work for
fucking-
enough people,
some
about how
fucking
people
Oh,
can go out
fuck.
and be in
That-
work and
dude,
still find
hold
it
on.
difficult to put a roof.
Fucking all right. Did you see the New York Times article that fucking I don't want to
Oh,
derail
the
the
planes
thing.
decided to fly into the buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airplanes fucking did it, man. Airplanes did it. Just
Yeah.
remember that, right? That fucking it wasn't nobody, like the self-driving fucking airplanes did it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I
to
should've
be
known.
fair, if you've been in a cockpit of a plane recently, they do pretty much fly
Over the-
themselves.
Fucker.
Unless you have a jihadi fucking taking control and doing it. And, yeah, otherwise they fly themselves. The pilot is there to just pretty much
No, I
press
know,
play,
I know.
but yeah.
It was a fucking self-driving car fucking joke, man, and you got to take it all technical and shit. Like I know that the fucking plane can basically land itself and everything, you know. It's just like stop taking my joke too seriously, man. My brain is literally
Your brain's been dunkified.
yeah, dude. Like
Jesus.
I'm serious. Like I have a headache because of this fucking lady. I legit have a headache.
Also, she's saying our country's very divided. The divide is you retards and us
Yeah.
normal folk.
Yeah. Yeah, if you take the politicians and the concentration of London out of the vote, it's pretty much the whole country kind of wants Brexit. But you know,
No, it's just a couple people, man. Stop trying to make it into something. It's
just some people.
it's just like a handful.
You
It's
filthy
not.
peons. Yeah.
Why are you lying? Yeah, exactly. You filth. You fucking bottom dwelling working class fucks. You voted the wrong way.
So the peasants are revolting. Yes, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
their
Fetch the
head
rope.
and food on the table.
Okay.
And those are issues that I believe we can best address if we have the prosperity of remaining in the European Union and the government get on with addressing those.
Okay.
At the
And
moment,
to all the
nothing else
students,
is
and to all the
happening.
students you left completely skint by trebling their tuition fees, do you want to take this chance to apologise to them for that broken promise?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Like I've said
Get some.
really clearly that that was something we shouldn't have done because we said we wouldn't do it and we should have stuck to our word. And I've learned from that.
Just got too greedy.
Wanna say sorry?
Fucking
And
Apologise.
to make mistakes and to learn from
I-
them.
I
And I have
totally
said
agree.
We
sorry,
demand
and I
an
do,
apology.
because we got that wrong.
So you would like to apologise for basically leaving all the students in this country impoverished as a direct result of trebling their fees?
Oh.
I'm sorry that that happened. I don't agree.
She did it. She fucking
The
did
way
it.
the policy
I
worked,
don't take your
it's not
apology.
about people playing up front, and I think that is important.
Your
for
apology
people
doesn't
to
mean shit,
understand, because we do not want to put people off going to university when they understand that they are not going to
Well,
have
you
to pay
did.
up front. And indeed, we did
Yes.
deliver more people
Jesus.
from low-income
You must go
backgrounds
to
that are
university.
going
That's
to
where we
university.
finish the
All right.
But I
indoctrination.
do
Please go
regret
to university.
that,
We
that,
need your
that,
debt
that was a
slavery.
policy that we pursued when
Debt
we
slavery
said
What?
and indoctrination
Joe
is
Swinson,
important
thank
to
you very
us.
much indeed for joining us.
Dude, what was the like? Did she ever give a reason for why she did that?
No, she just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. I learned from
they
it."
just decided that it was a good idea.
Okay, all right.
The
So
universities wanted to put up fees. The universities were putting up fees for international students, and they saw the opportunity to put up fees for the locals, and it was kind of a cash grab all round. To be honest.
yeah, it sounded like a cash grab, right?
Yeah.
It was totally a cash grab.
Not-
So
not
you
the
said
finest money.
you said before that she was on the opposite side of this whole deal.
What the opposite side of
Brexit thing, like her
Yes.
activism bullshit, right?
Yes, she previously had been campaigning for a referendum back in, I think it's 2008 thereabouts, and
On the Brexit side.
not on the Brexit side, but saying she wanted to have a referendum, and it was a good idea to have a referendum because it was a divisive policy and or situation, and it was a good idea to have the referendum. And then the moment the referendum was held, it was, oh my god, this is a terrible idea. You can't have a referendum. Look at the people that voted in the wrong way.
Dude, this is like the whole entire political structure is literally just fucking chaotic bad. Like just very, very, very chaotic, and it's purposefully chaotic.
Yes.
It's just chaotic evil, man.
The politics of the UK is the politics of everywhere seems to be relatively chaotic evil.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a recent thing too. Like, I mean, politicians themselves they've always been liars. Like, I'm sure as far back as fucking,
I have
1000 BC.
I have found very few politicians that I've actually liked and respected. There have been a few that I have.
I mean, literally, like never ever trust anybody that holds power over you.
No.
Right? Never.
Absolutely.
Even the littlest bit of power. Never
trust anybody that seeks it.
Yeah. Oh,
place.
yeah. Big time. Big time.
Those that seek power should be barred from having it. I don't know who said that, but damn, they were right on that one.
Oh, yeah. That's like one of the unwritten laws of humanity.
Literally. Oh, you want to be a politician? Banned.
Yeah.
Get back to sell T-shirts and shoes.
Dude, I can't. I like seeing how, like, I talk to a lot. Now that we're this new generations and stuff are coming in, right? And politics is like the new fad.
Yeah.
Like when this new older generation was young, it was Jackass was the fad and all that stupid shit, right? Now politics is the fad. Everybody wants to be like the Jackass guys and do stupid stuff. Now everybody wants to be like the politics guys and
bum fights. There was bum fights
Yeah.
as well. You remember bum fights? That was great.
Oh yeah, of course I remember bum fights.
You guys.
Boomers. Fucking boomers.
Oh, they made fortunes out of making homeless people fight. It was.
Yeah, man. And you could get those things on VHS, man.
Yeah, back when VHS existed.
Yeah. But yeah, you get what I was like. So that was popular back then. That was the fad. Everybody wanted to be like them, and now politics is the fad. So when like all the third, fourth, fifth, sixth graders come up to be, I mean, our ages kind of differ a bit, but when they come up to be of age and of understanding, right? I could just imagine what the world is going to be like in the next 20 years. It's
when Gen Z is in power and stuff like that, etc. And the generation.
I don't know.
What generation have we got after Gen Z?
I don't know, but
that's. Out of letters. Are we going to start again? Are we going to Gen A, Gen Z?
Yeah,
Z?
right.
What Gen Z 1?
Oh no, it's Gen A.
It is Gen A. So we've just gone all the way
Gen
around.
Alpha. Yep.
Dude, wait till like Baby Boomer round 2 comes about.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Gen Beta to get just butthurt.
Gen Beta, yeah.
A bunch of betas constantly. Oh, they will get mocked.
But yeah,
they'll be
Gen
called, like, millennial. You know how like millennial, it's supposed to be Gen Y.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just gonna do that. They're gonna give it a different fucking name.
Cause beta. Well, I don't know. It depends. Beta might fit really well.
Oh yeah, dude. Gen B will definitely be Gen Beta. I don't care what anybody calls it.
Dude, my older brother kept calling me a millennial. I just let him keep getting away with it because he was like, all these comedians and shit. They keep complaining about millennials. He's talking about you, Charlie.
So,
and
it's
like, no, Andy, he's talking about you. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, but just imagine the world like after. I'm not talking about when Z gets in control, but the generation after that and the one after that, especially. Like, what do you think that world is going to look like?
Oh, dude, it's going to be Cyberpunk 2077 in both years.
I fucking hope so. That's it. I'm sticking my head in a fucking jar. I'm done. I'm a robot body with fucking lasers and machine guns, and I'm just fucking laying waste at that point. Done.
Like, you remember like back in the fucking 50s, 60s and stuff. Like all our parents and stuff they thought we were gonna have flying cars and fucking space civilizations and shit. And now we got fucking trannies in the street jerking off in kids' faces and stuff.
Well,
like, what the fuck, man? Maybe. Like, what the fuck happened, dude?
Degeneration.
Yeah, but like, it just didn't fucking happen out of nowhere, right? Like we had aspirations to have fucking space civilizations, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'll refer you to my good friend Jess to talk to you
Well,
about.
here's the thing: is that you've got Gen X, my generation, Gen X, which is your guys who are in their mid to late 40s, going through to the mid to late 30s, who they basically they were following the whole the baby boomer, sort of ethos of working hard and you will get somewhere, and we've been working fucking hard, and we're sort of eking out a living, and it's kind of worked for us to a degree, but we did see back in late 80s, early 90s, suddenly everything shot out of our range, and now we've got the millennials that are looking at going, I'm not going to buy a house, I can't buy a house, the houses are just beyond my and
well, in a lot of ways they are, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's like coming up in the world. If you don't have something already established
owning a house
It's-
and owning a car is freedom.
Yeah.
Owning your own stuff is freedom. These poor fuckers that are just looking at life renting, I'm not surprised
Yeah.
that they are demoralized to their very core.
Well, it's like I saw a receipt from a wedding from I think it was like 1964 for a wedding for 64 no, it wasn't. That was 1964. It was a wedding for I think 30 something people.
Yep.
Right? The grand total for all of their food and all of the wine was $300. $300, right? And I mean that was probably, add a zero to it, right?
Yeah.
What's a wedding now? Fucking 30,000?
At least a modest one can come to that.
Yeah, right. So
But fucking
the fuck, man.
Everybody wants fucking ice carved swans and freaking
But they had that shit back then.
They did, but there's a certain amount of aspiration that has been sold to just about everybody. Back then it wasn't so common. Certainly in England, certainly back in the sort of 60s and 70s, by and large we were fairly modest as a country. These days, everybody wants to be a rock star. Everybody has been sold this fucking, you can go on YouTube and do a makeup tutorial and shake your ass on fucking Twitch, and you can make a million. And
Dude,
nobody
did you ever see the they asked I don't know if this was an actual survey or what, but they asked kids in elementary school in like different countries what they wanted to be, and
Oh god,
the number one answer in America was a YouTuber / blogger, and the number one answer in something like China was fucking astronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
guess
thing
which
with that
country's gonna
is,
go fucking further.
hold on,
Yeah.
I have a good rebuttal for that.
There's a rebuttal.
YouTube and Google don't exist in China. You remember that massive fuck off firewall? I guarantee if they had YouTube and Google, I can guarantee they'd be exactly the same.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they're really into fucking like World of Warcraft when that like they were the number one fucking World of Warcraft, like all that kind of stuff. Why don't they say I want to be a professional fucking Twitch streamer? They have Twitch.
Yeah. No.
Do they?
It's
Pretty sure, yeah.
It's fair. It's fair. Why they have better aspirations than we do.
No,
I feel slightly hypocritical by saying this as I'm currently streaming a YouTube video, but yeah, I have
Well, when they say
that's it. It's not a fucking career. This is a hobby that I do occasionally for a fucking joke.
Yeah, but when
expecting to make millions out of this, no.
When these kids say YouTuber, they don't mean fucking political commentary, right? They don't mean big brain shit. They mean fucking like PewDiePie.
Yeah, they mean PewDiePie.
No,
they mean sticking the fucking filling a microwave full of concrete and sticking the head in it and prank shit and makeup tutorial shit. And
have your fucking girlfriend shoot you in the chest with a 50 cal Desert Eagle to see if it'll go through a phone book.
Well, you know what? That, to be honest, that is Darwinism in action.
Who's the generation that was eating the fucking Tide Pods? Was that millennials?
That was millennials, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck me, fucking bullshit.
It was like earliest millennials.
When you say earliest, do you mean they're the oldest or?
They
youngest.
were also pulling condoms through their nose as well. And
I seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. I remember that shit. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I remember watching that and just going, "Oh Jesus fucking Christ! What is that? These where are your parents?" You were not beaten enough as a child. Anyway.
How do you come up with that? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I want to snort a condom up my nose and pull it out my mouth. Why?
And then eat a Tide Pod. Oh no, people.
Yeah, why?
Mind you, there was shit before that. Do you remember the planking? Do you remember people planking?
Yeah, but that wasn't fucking stupid as shit. Like, yeah, it's fucking something dumb to waste your time with, right? But it's not fucking snorting a condom.
Yeah.
Like, there's levels of fucking shit, and those two, they're not even on the same fucking plane. They're not even in the same realm of universe. Like, I would much rather fucking plank every day for the rest of my life than have my kids fucking snort condoms.
How did we even get to this point?
Who the fuck knows?
I'm still hung up on the China thing. Because it was China who said they wanted to be astronauts, but they don't have fucking access to anything else. They're all working in their fucking sweatshops. Of course they're gonna have bigger aspirations than they could ever possibly...
It's a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism, right? They're working in the shitty sweatshops, so they want to get as far away from that shit as possible.
No, it's, So what do you want to be when you grow up? Points gun at child.
Yeah.
That's what we want you to say.
Do you want to be harvested for parts, or do you want to make something better for our country? I'll be an astronaut.
I wonder how many of them said, "I want to be the."
That China have ever harvested anyone for parts, and I'm certain that's just a malicious rumor.
That's not what people
or any of that. It's all a myth.
That's not all the people that like sit outside in London and fucking Oxford say.
I
who
know.
are ex-China citizens.
I know. I can.
That's great.
Yeah, no, that's oof. Some very dodgy stuff goes off in China.
My liver was harvested. Here's the scars.
But that's
Jesus. Is what I say. Chris, I'm gonna go for a cigarette quick.
Cool. Well, I think we're gonna end the stream here at this point. We've trudged through 15 minutes of video, and it's only taken us nearly 2 hours.
Dude, after that fucking video, like, I actually have a headache from listening to that. I can't.
Yeah, I need a drink. I need a beer or a coffee or.
I'm going for a smoke.
Cool.
So, I'm gonna fucking play Russian roulette.
With yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Just remember, it's always more effective if you use an automatic.
Yeah. That's
Russian roulette with a Glock.
I can't believe that lady holds any fucking say in anything that happens. Like, it's either an act or the entire country that you guys run is just stupid.
Dude, wait till you see.
Definitely one of those.
If you think she's retarded, wait till you see Jeremy Corbyn. He's something else.
I mean, I've seen a lot of them talking and shit. Like, it's an act, man. It can't possibly be real. This can't be what these people actually think, because it's so fucking stupid. Most of the shit that these people say, it makes me wonder how they even got out of school, like how they made it without crossing the street and getting hit by a car because they can't fucking do anything.
No, it's yeah, no, I know what you're saying, and people vote for these people as well. That's what always amazes me.
That's the fucking scary part.
These people look at them and go, that's the person I want to vote for. They're retarded. Sure, I feel a kinship to these people. Tick. Anyway, we've actually got 5 people, a whole 5 people watching this show. Good God,
I'm one of them.
You people, yeah, me too. So that's 3 actual other people. So wow, you have my utmost respect, and in fact, I've actually gained an extra subscriber or 2 as well. I had 42 at the beginning of this stream. We've now got 44. So that's 2 other converts to the bakery. Good God. You people have my respect or pity. I'm not quite sure which, but thanks for staying tuned, and I think we're going to leave it as it is there, and we'll do it. I'm working on another one. I've been working on the idea of Schrodinger's president for Donald Trump, because that guy, there is a certain amount of superposition. He is many things to many people, and I'm not quite sure what the actual reality is, but we'll find out at some point. I'm going to do a bit of research into it. But it's how to make it interesting and not just a massive meme fest or boring as hell. I think we're going to go for the meme fest, to be honest, because that's always a good laugh.
You got a meme. You got to every day.
Yeah,
Every day. If
absolutely.
it's not a meme, I can't take it for real.
Absolutely.
So, subscribe to my channel for Filthy Frank Clone.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thanks everyone, and I will end the stream here and pressing end stream now.
Okay, fine, bye.
Bye.
Bye.